Hey everyone, it's Jen. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I have some projects to show you from Scrap Diva Designs. This is from Erica's August release. I am on the design team, so I made a few projects to share with you. I will link them all down below, of course, and I will also include my referral link. If you click on that and place an order, I do get a commission. That doesn't cost you anything extra, but it helps me out, so I always appreciate when you guys use that. And I have a discount code, which is Strawberry Cream. If you enter that at checkout at scrapdivadesigns.com, you will get 10% off of your order. So feel free to use that as well. All right, you guys, I've got some fun things to show you today, so let's get started. And I will take some measurements too. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Or if you have anything to say in general, I'd love to hear what you have to say. All right, so the first set is called the Heart Border Rectangle. And this is a complement to the Heart Border Circles that Erica has out already, which I've shown you before many times that I've used those in projects. They're so versatile, and I'm really glad that there's a rectangle set out now. So you get all of these dies. You get an outer layer like this, and this one has stitching on the inside, scalloped on the outside, and then eyelet detail on the inside with some little hearts as well. So it's a beautiful rectangle. If you use just this die in your die cutting machine, you'll get a full rectangle. It also comes with the inner piece, which is a mostly plain rectangle, but it is stitched. So if you put them in together in your die cutting machine, you'll get an eyelet frame. But you can cut them out separately and layer them, which is what I like to do. So you get that size, and then there's the smaller size as well, the same thing with the same details. So it's great to have two different sizes. I made both of them, so I'll measure them. And then it does come with this extra piece, which is an assortment of hearts, and they're all the same, but you get, let's say, there's 7 for 28 little hearts you can cut out. So you can use these in shakers, you could use them as embellishments, and one pass and you get 28 little hearts, so that's really nice. I didn't use those, no, I didn't use that in these projects, but they do come with the die set. All right, so let me show you the card that I made, and I did share this on Instagram in case it looks familiar. How cute is this, right? I used the larger one, obviously, in the background, and I just love it as a background. It looks to me like a tablecloth, so I thought it would be great for this theme card with the toast on top of it. And the toast comes from a die set from Erica as well. It's called the Toast and Egg Set. That's a previous release, but I will link it down below because as I'm making this video, it's still available. And then I cut out this little oval here that has stitching around it. I used another new die set from Erica that's called the Slider Set. So I just used one of the dies here. I didn't make a slider, obviously, but I just wanted to make a kind of window in my page, so it was perfect for that, and it does add the nice stitching around it. So let me measure the rectangle for you. Whoops, wrong side. It's about, let's see, about 5 5/8 inches across. And then up and down, it's about 4.5. So it's a little bit bigger than an A2 size card. So I made this one just like a custom size card. I made the background 6 inches by, let's see, what did I do? 4 7/8. So I always say that's a good thing about making your own cards. You can make them as big as you want. So yeah, that's what I did. And for the toast, I used the 3 different layers that come in the die set. The heart comes from that die set as well, I think, or maybe it comes from the toaster one. I'm not quite sure, but there are 2 toast die sets on Erica's site, and I'll link them both down below. So I used the plain white paper for the outer portion of the rectangle, and then for the inner part I used some Arala Mija Shop digital paper from Etsy and just layered them on top, and they both have stitching detail, which I love. The slider set die also has stitching detail, so it brings it all together. And I used some Vintage Photo Distress Oxide on the edges of the toast pieces to make them look a little bit toastier. And then I heat embossed some cute little faces on the pats of butter, and I just love how that came out. The Toast to Us comes from a Lawn Fawn die set, I believe. And then the inside, I use the smaller rectangle, and that one is about 4 1/8 inches across, and then up and down, it's about 3 inches. And these come from Lawn Fawn as well. So yeah, let me measure the separate rectangles too. This one is about 3 inches by, let's see, about almost 1 7/8, because it's good to have these rectangles in your stash to use for all sorts of projects. The bigger rectangle, the inner rectangle, is 4 1/2 by almost 3 1/2. So like I said, great to have. You can use them together, separately, whatever you want. So they're just wonderful to have in your stash. There are a lot of great examples on Scrap Diva Design on the products page. So go ahead and take a look there, because you know, I'm sure you'll get inspired by them as well. So that's my first project. I also cut this one out. I was thinking I might use it, but I didn't, but I wanted to show it to you anyway. This is a smaller one, and this one I did use some white paper with some gingham paper on the inside. For the one in my card, I used some heart paper for the outer edge, and then just some plain white on the inside that I used Vintage Photo Distress Oxide to, you know, to age it or darken it a little bit on the edges. But that's another one I figured I would just show you while it was here. All right, so the next one I had to share with you is the 3D Carousel gift box. And speaking of inspiration, if you do hashtag Scrap Diva Designs on Instagram, here on YouTube, or look on the product page on Scrap Diva Designs, there are so many great examples of people turning this 3D Carousel gift box into lots of different themes. So let me show you the dies that you get. This is the base of the gift box, and it's a hexagon. There are 6 different sides, and it comes with the glue flaps as well, and they're embossed or scored. So, you know, they're easy to fold once you cut it out. This is a piece that cuts out the walls of the carousel gift box, and so you'll cut out 3 of these, so you'll have 6 sides. And then it comes with these pieces too. This is a layering piece for the sides. See, it's a little bit smaller, so you can cut this out of pattern paper, use some sturdier paper for the base. This to me looked like a slice of pie. This is a section of the roof. This is an inset for that, or a layering piece. And so you cut out 6 of those. This is a layering piece for the arch of the window. And then these are layering pieces. This one is for the edge of the roof, and then this one you could put at the bottom of the window if you want. I don't think I used this one actually, but you know, it's there if you want it. And this makes a cute little flag that you could put on top of the carousel, which I did use. I'll show you that in a second. So like I said, when I saw this, I was thinking pie. Doesn't it look like a slice of pie? So I went with a pie themed for the roof, and then the bottom theme is fall. So let me show you what I came up with. So this is my box. Isn't that adorable? So you could see, hopefully I made it look like slices of pie on the top. So I made pumpkin pie slices alternating, so there are 3 of those. And then I made like a cherry pie or apple pie slice here. I just cut out the inset piece of red paper, and then cut out some strips of some almond cream basil paper, and just kind of, you know, interlaced them on the top or crisscrossed them, and then added some glue and some sugary glitter to make it look like sugar. And I think it does look like a pie slice. This one, I just cut out a inset triangle with some almond cream and edged it with Distress Oxide again. And I did use my tracing wheel on the edge of that to kind of look like, I don't know, I was thinking it would look like pie crimping or something. And then I cut out some flowers and leaves from other dies I have in my stash to make them look like, you know how like when you make pie, you make little decorations out of the leftover pastry. And then this one I thought would look like kind of like a lemon pie. I had this pie, another die set in my stash, so I used that piece for that. And also this came from that die set as well. So I used yellow to make them look lemony. And then for the pumpkin pie slices, what I did was I didn't cut out insets for that. I just cut out the main roof piece is this one out of this like burnt orange paper. I thought it looked kind of pumpkin-y. So I just did some stitching on the edges of those before I attached them, obviously, with some like white iridescent thread. And then I hot glued on these little faux whipped cream dollops that I had gotten from Allie a while ago. And I think they look like pie slices. For the crusts, for the inset pieces, I use more almond cream paper and use my vintage photo distress oxide to make them look a little bit dark from the oven. And then, let's see, the sides of the box, let me put that back on a little bit better. There we go. The sides of the box, I used some doodlebug paper. I had this collection called Pumpkin Spice that came out a few years ago. So I used some of the layering papers from that, including this cute pumpkin pie one. And of course that goes perfectly with the fall pumpkin theme. And for the windows, you can either back them with acetate so you could see through them, but I made each of mine a little picture, so I don't have any see-through windows. But this one, obviously, I had to use. These are cut aparts from the paper collection, and this one says Cutie Pie. I added some clear glaze from Lawn Fawn and some stickles in frosted lace to add some shine and glitter to them. There's that layering piece for the windows that comes, well, the die looks like this. So I used that in some of the windows. And then the next side, I used a cute little raccoon and then more of that doodlebug paper. I used some doodlebug trim on the bottom here. Here's where you can use that other scallop set, but I just didn't do that. And then I added some stickles again and some clear glaze, and I hot glued on a little acorn cabochon. On this side, again, I used that layering piece for the window, more of the pumpkin pie paper and some leaves. It's a little bit too big for this window, but that's okay. And it says Happy Fall. I just wanted to include that because I love the Happy Fall. And then for this side, again with that same doodlebug paper, and I used a little, tiny little like brownish pumpkin cabochon with the raccoon. Again, I blinged him out a little bit with some stickles and clear glaze. And then this side says Autumn Skies and Pumpkin Pies, and again with the pumpkin pie paper. So I alternated the pumpkin pie paper and this one with the little icons on it. And then the last side is the little cart of pumpkins and then a pumpkin cabochon, and yeah, and then we're back to the beginning. So for the top of the box, you can add a straw or a dowel or something, because there's a hole that forms when you put all of these pieces together. And there are tutorials out there for how to put this together. I watched one that Poochie Tats created for how to put the sides together. The roof I thought was pretty self-explanatory, but I wasn't sure like how to put the bottom on. So if you want to know that, go ahead and watch her video. So on the inside, well, what I was saying, you could put a straw or a dowel. So I used a gold straw that I had in my stash. And this little flag here, or little banner, that comes with the die set, that's this one. And it's great. You just cut it out and then just kind of wrap it around your straw and glue it together. And I added a couple of little heart puppy stickers there. For the top flag, I used another one of Erica's die sets that I frequently use. It's the Pin Flags die set, and if that's still available, I'll link that down below as well. But I used that for that flag. I added some doodlebug embellishments, and then I added a little apple cabochon. I just hot glued that on the top. And I did glue the straw into place. I hot glued it from the inside, I'll show you, and then I put some like Nouveau Deluxe adhesive on this side just to keep it nice and stable. So when you open it up, you could either use this to open it or open it from the sides. Actually, before I open it, let me measure it because, yeah, I might forget. Let's not include the straw. So from top to bottom, it's about 6 inches. And then from side to side, it's, well, each section is about 2 3/4 inches. So, let's see, let me do the depth for you too. So the widest part is about, let's see, 5.5 inches. Okay, so it makes a really nice size box. And it's nice and sturdy too. If you use really good paper for the foundation of the box, you'll have a nice sturdy box. So I use my AC cardstock, which I always use for my 3D projects, or I try to. So you open it up, you can lift it this way or that way. I'm just going to do it from the sides. And then this is what it looks like on the inside. It's like a kind of like a beach umbrella, it looks like. So if you look at the construction, all the glue flaps are pressed together, and that's where I stuck a bunch of hot glue in there to keep my straw stable. And it is nice and stable. Oh, I think this is so cute. So on the inside, I added a separate piece for the floor. There is not a layering die for this piece. So what I did was I used that donut paper. I cut it out with this die, but then I just kind of like hand cut on the inside edge, where the inside edge would be, and just glued that down on the bottom. You don't have to. I just wanted a different pattern than the plain paper that I used for the bottom of the box. I wanted a pattern paper on that side. So the inside there, those are the backs of the cute little graphics I have on the front, and I thought they looked really nice like that, so I just left it. And again, there aren't layering pieces for that. As long as you put something cute on the back, or if you have double-sided paper, I think it looks just fine like that. And look at how nice and big this is. You could fit a lot of things in here. Let's see. Let me find some stuff to put in here and I'll give you an idea. So I brought over a bunch of my fall ribbon spools, and I thought I could just show you how many of those fit in here because they're a good size. And I think we all have these, and what a nice gift this would be to, you know, somebody who likes to craft with ribbons. Or even anybody, you know, because you use ribbons for gift wrap and stuff. So I've got 4 in there, 5, 6 spools of ribbon already, and it could probably fit a couple more, maybe 1 or 2 on the top. I have a bunch of wooden acorns. I think those are from the Dollar Tree from another year. Here's one that I painted, so put that in there too. And then, yeah, I think that's probably good. You got to be careful about actually, I didn't even think of that, about the straw going through it. So we'll leave the middle out. Leave the middle unfilled, and then we'll just put that back on. So when you put it back on, you kind of have to like finagle the sides a little bit. I just kind of go one side at a time and press it in until you feel like it's all down together. Oops. There we go. So cute box, right? Oh my gosh, I think this would be great to use just in fall decor. That's what I'm going to do with mine. You could give it to somebody. It's big. I think it would be nice to you know, gift something inside it. What a nice gift that would be. But yeah, I'll probably use it as decor in my house. So those are my projects for today, just a few, but I think they're all beautiful, so I wanted to showcase them for you today. If you have any questions, let me know. All of these products will be down below, as well as my referral link and my coupon code. So thank you so much for watching. I'll be back soon with more crafty videos. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Bye.